Clint Eastwood built a $375 million fortune. But what happens to it when he's gone? His family might not like the answer. From a small-town nobody to one of Hollywood's biggest legends, Eastwood didn't just make money. He played the game smarter than anyone. Real estate, stocks, a secret business empire. He turned every paycheck into millions. But here's where it gets shocking. His wealth might not go where you think. Family tensions, unexpected twists, and a fortune that could spark major drama. Stay with me, because this story only gets crazier. Before Clint Eastwood became a Hollywood legend, he was just another kid from San Francisco trying to make a name for himself. No family connections, no silver spoon, just big dreams and a lot of rejection. In the early 50s, he bounced between odd jobs, even working as a lumberjack and a gas station attendant, all while chasing a shot at stardom. Hollywood wasn't exactly rolling out the red carpet for him. In fact, a studio exec once told him he had a weird smile and talked too slow. Yeah, imagine that. But then came Rawhide, a gritty Western TV show that put Clint in front of millions. Playing Rowdy Yates, he quickly became a fan favorite. But here's the thing, his paycheck? Only $750 per episode at first. Decent money, but not life-changing. That all changed when he made his smartest move yet, taking a chance on a low-budget Italian Western called A Fistful of Dollars. He was paid just $15,000, but what happened next? Hollywood took notice. That one film led to for a few dollars more, and the good, the bad, and the ugly, and suddenly, Clint was a global superstar. Then came Dirty Harry, the role that cemented his legacy and changed his bank account forever. As Harry Callahan, Clint became the ultimate Hollywood tough guy, and with it, his salary skyrocketed. He was suddenly making hundreds of thousands per film. But here's what set him apart. Unlike most actors, Clint didn't just cash paychecks. He started investing his money, buying real estate, producing his own films, and making moves behind the scenes that would secure his fortune for decades to come. But while he was building a Hollywood empire, Clint was also making enemies, and not just on screen. Because what he did next, it shook up the entire industry. Clint Eastwood wasn't just another Hollywood superstar. He was a master strategist when it came to money. While other actors were burning through their paychecks, Clint was quietly building an empire. It all started in the late 60s. He realized something most actors never figure out. If you just collect a paycheck, you're at the mercy of Hollywood. But if you own the production, you control everything. So in 1967, he founded Malpaso Productions, a move that would make him millions. Instead of just starring in movies, Clint produced and directed them, meaning he got a cut of box office profits, not just a salary. Some of his biggest hits, Unforgiven, Million Dollar Baby, Gran Torino, were all Malpaso films, and each one added millions to his fortune. But Clint didn't stop there. He started buying up real estate, and not just any properties. We're talking multi-million-dollar mansions, massive ranches, and luxury getaways. One of his most famous buys? Pebble Beach Golf Links, one of the most exclusive golf courses in the world. Clint and a group of investors bought the entire thing for $820 million. And today, it's worth billions. Then, there's his stock portfolio. Clint knew Hollywood money wouldn't last forever, so he bet big on companies like Apple, Tesla, and McDonald's. Just as Apple shares alone are worth over $5 million. And while other celebrities were making flashy purchases, Clint was silently growing his net worth. Smart, calculated, and always thinking ahead, Clint Eastwood built a fortune that most actors could only dream of. But here's the twist. Even with all this wealth, he still wasn't safe from financial battles. In fact, one unexpected lawsuit ended up making him millions more. And it's a story you won't believe. Clint Eastwood has spent decades building his reputation. A Hollywood legend, a self-made millionaire, and a name that demands respect. But in 2021, he found himself in an unexpected battle. Not on the big screen, but in the courtroom. A shady CBD company based in Lithuania thought they could use Eastwood's name and face to sell their products without his permission. They even faked interviews, creating fake news articles claiming Clint had endorsed their CBD oils, complete with made-up quotes. Now, if you know Clint, you know he doesn't take nonsense from anyone, on or off screen. So, what did he do? He took them to court, filing multiple lawsuits against the companies behind the scam. And when the dust settled, the judge ruled in Clint's favor, awarding him a $6.1 million payout for damages. But here's the thing. This wasn't the first time Clint had to fight back to protect his brand and his fortune. Over the years, he's been dragged into legal battles, from lawsuits over film rights to fights over his real estate deals. Every time, he's come out on top, proving that he's not just a Hollywood icon, but a business powerhouse who refuses to be taken advantage of. And while $6 million is just a fraction of his massive fortune, this lawsuit was about more than just money. It was about protecting his name, his legacy, and everything he's built. But even though Clint won big in court, there's one battle he won't be able to fight forever. What happens to his fortune when he's gone? And that's where things start getting complicated. Clint Eastwood has built an empire worth $375 million. But what happens to it when he's gone? That's the question everyone is asking. And the answer? It might not be as simple as you think. Unlike some Hollywood legends, Clint doesn't just have 1 or 2 kids. He has 8. That's right, 8 children from multiple relationships. And while Clint has always been a private person, one thing's for sure, not all of his kids are treated equally. So who are the Eastwood heirs? Let's start with Scott Eastwood, arguably the most famous of Clint's children. He's followed directly in his father's footsteps, becoming an actor and model. You've seen him in movies like Fury and The Fate of the Furious, and with a growing career, many people think Clint might favor him in his will. Then there's Kyle Eastwood, but instead of Hollywood, he took a different path: music. A talented jazz musician and composer, Kyle has even worked on some of Clint's movie soundtracks. He's got the Eastwood drive for success, but will that translate into a bigger slice of the fortune? Clint's other children, Lori, Kimber, Allison, Francesca, Catherine, Morgan, and Timothy, each have their own lives and careers. Some, like Allison Eastwood, have dabbled in acting, while others have stayed out of the limelight. So here's the big question. Will Clint split his wealth equally among his 8 children, or will some get more than others? Insiders believe Clint has already structured his estate plan, and it might not be a simple equal split. Instead of handing over lump sums, Clint could be using trusts, a financial move that allows him to control how his fortune is passed down. Why does this matter? Because trusts aren't just about money. They come with rules. Some of Clint's children could get yearly payouts instead of a one-time inheritance. Others might only receive money for specific purposes, like education or investments. And here's where things get even more complicated. What if Clint leaves a chunk of his fortune to charity instead of his kids? It wouldn't be the first time a celebrity did this. And for a man who's always been about legacy, it wouldn't be surprising. But if that happens, could it cause family drama? Could Clint's children fight over the inheritance? Because as we've seen before, when a Hollywood fortune is on the line, things can get messy. Clint Eastwood has spent decades building his fortune, but here's a twist no one saw coming. He might not leave it all to his kids. While most of Hollywood's elite pass down their massive wealth to their families, Clint has always been different. He's never been one for flashy spending or Hollywood excess, and behind the scenes, he's been quietly giving away millions. One of his biggest passions? Veterans. Clint has donated to military charities for years, using his films like American Sniper to highlight the struggles of those who serve. Then there's education. He supported multiple scholarships and programs to help young filmmakers get their start. And let's not forget his love for the environment. He personally helped save and restore Pebble Beach, one of the most beautiful natural golf courses in the world. So here's the big question. Could Clint Eastwood actually leave a huge chunk of his fortune to charity instead of his kids? It wouldn't be the first time a celebrity made that kind of decision. Look at Paul Newman. Instead of giving everything to his family, he put millions into charitable foundations, ensuring his legacy would continue helping people for generations. Or take Michael Jackson. His estate was set up so that a large portion of his fortune would go to charity, rather than directly to his children. And that estate? It's still growing to this day. Clint might be planning something similar, especially if he wants to ensure his wealth goes to causes he truly cares about. If that's the case, his children might not be getting as much as they expect. But here's where things could get messy. If Clint will leaves more to charity than to his family, could this lead to a legal battle? We've seen it before, celebrity heirs fighting over inheritance, trying to contest wills, and turning courtroom battles into public scandals. Right now, Clint Eastwood's estate plans are private. But when the time comes, what he decides to do with his millions could leave people shocked. And that brings us to the final question. Has Clint already secretly structured his estate, or will his family be left scrambling for answers when he's gone? Clint Eastwood has spent over 70 years building his fortune. But the real drama? It hasn't even started yet. Because the biggest question still remains, what happens next? At 93 years old, Clint isn't slowing down, but there's no denying that time is running out for Hollywood's last great cowboy. And while his estate plans remain a mystery, there are a few clues that suggest he's already made some major decisions behind the scenes. For starters, sources close to Eastwood believe he has already structured his estate to avoid the chaos that has destroyed other celebrity legacies. How? Private trusts. Unlike a will, a trust allows him to control how and when his wealth is distributed, making sure that his money doesn't fall into the wrong hands or get wasted. But even with a plan in place, there's one thing Clint can't control: his family. With 8 children from different relationships, will they all agree on how things are handled? Or could we be looking at another Hollywood inheritance war? We've seen it before. Celebrities pass away, and their families explode into bitter legal fights. Just look at Prince. When he died without a will, his estate took 6 years to settle, costing millions in legal fees. Or Aretha Franklin. Her handwritten wills sparked a brutal court battle between her children. Could the Eastwood family be next? And beyond the legal battles, there's Clint's legacy itself. He built a career on his own terms, rejecting Hollywood's rules and creating a legend that will outlive him. But what if fighting over his fortune overshadows everything he's worked for? Will his wealth be used to honor his legacy, funding new films, supporting causes he believed in, and keeping his name alive in Hollywood? Or will it be fought over in court, reduced to headlines about greedy heirs and lost millions? One thing's for sure: when Clint Eastwood is gone, the story won't end. It'll be just the beginning of a battle over his $375 million fortune. And the only question left is, who will win? At 93 years old, Clint Eastwood has lived a life that most people could only dream of: a Hollywood legend, a self-made millionaire, and a man who built an empire on his own terms. But now, the biggest question remains: what happens next? Will his fortune be split evenly among his 8 children? Or will his hidden estate plan reveal something no one expected? Will his legacy be protected, or could family feuds and legal battles tear it apart? One thing's for sure: when Clint Eastwood is gone, his story won't just fade away. In fact, the next chapter might be the most shocking one yet. So, what do you think Clint should do with his $375 million fortune? Should it go to his family, to charity, or somewhere unexpected? Drop a comment below. We want to hear your thoughts. And if you want more deep dives into Hollywood's biggest icons, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Because trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.